Sandy here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I am playing with some fun deco foil and Brutus Monroe products. I have this photo of my husband and I from, I think, 2007. It's been a while. We were outside getting ready to watch the Phantom of the Opera at the Kennedy Center in DC. So I have that photo. I have some Brutus Monroe stamps. This one, which is the extra sentimental stamp set, and then this Mother's Day stamp set that, you know, we're just proving you don't need to use it for Mother's Day. It's called Mother's Bouquet. I have these gorgeous deco foil transfer sheets in pewter ripples and copper ripples. And then we have all of these awesome toner sheets that you put your foil on. I'm not going to use all of them, but I have some ideas. So let's see what I can do. All right, guys, so the very first thing I'm going to do is pull out my stamp positioner tool, and I'm going to go ahead and stamp this beautiful floral stamp. Now, I do have to say this is probably one of my most favorite Brutus Monroe stamps. It's just gorgeous. So I am going to stamp it, and then I'm going to stamp it again. That's the beauty of using a stamp positioner. This is a large stamp with a lot of surface area, so is something that you want to make sure that you are lining up perfectly if you have to restamp. So now I am going to just flip my paper over and make sure that I can stamp it one more time. My thought process is I'm going to be fussy cutting out these florals a little bit to kind of frame my picture. So I figured two would be good enough. So again, I'm using the Brutus Monroe Raven Detail ink. It is by far my most favorite black ink. It is a nice, rich, true, deep black color. And then I have my two florals. So I do just size my picture there to make sure that it'll fit. And then I am going to color the florals in with a combination of Aqua Pigments and Chroma mists. But I put that off to the side because I want to make sure my ink is completely dry before I start adding any liquid medium to it. I have the copper ripples and the pewter ripples foils from Deco Foil in Thermoweb. So now I am going to take these little fern-like leaf-looking things, and I'm going to fussy cut a bunch of them out. Now, definitely fussy cutting is the name of the game for this layout, and fussy cutting can be take a little effort, but you guys, it's so worth it. Like, it's so worth it. So I was just trying to figure out how many I needed, and then I am making sure that I'm cutting out the full leaves and not using anything that is cut off by the edges of the paper. Now, in case you didn't know this, you can definitely fussy cut out these transfer sheets. Or the toner sheets, rather. The transfer sheets are the foil pieces. So I'm just trying to arrange it onto the foil piece, and then I'm going to place it in my little plastic folder and run it through my machine to go ahead and get it nice and hot, and then voila, the magic of foil. Now my machine is way over on the other side of my room, so you're not going to see the foil actually go through the machine, but you see the good part, which is the release. So I pull these back, and now I have these beautiful leaves in copper, and then I decided to go with this version with this kind of leafy plant life on it in the full sheet of paper, so that I will be able to use that as part of my background. Now, I originally was going to use the stamp set over on the left, ultimately decided not to do that, but I had some good sentiment choices there, just didn't make it. So I go ahead and get my paper situated over top of a 12 by 12 black cardstock border. And now I need to fussy cut out these little leaves. I'm just taking my scissors. My scissor hand is being held still, and I am moving my opposite hand around. This is going to give you the smoothest fussy cutting. It's also going to be able to allow you to not really get your cutting hand cramped, because the only thing you are doing is opening and closing the scissor blades. You are not moving around your hand whatsoever. Don't worry, I'm not going to make you watch me fussy cut every single little leaf. Now, I decided that I needed to add a little bit more shining, shimmering, splendid on this layout because the deco foil was not enough. So I grabbed some copper Chroma glaze from Brutus Monroe, and I'm just going to spread this around my page so that it is a border around the super beautiful foiled piece of paper right here. I just wanted that little extra touch, that little extra bit. It is just going on kind of organically. I'm not, obviously it isn't a rectangle, but I'm not, you know, making sure that the rectangle is completely square and each part around the paper here is, you know, equidistant. We're not doing anything like that. It's a very, I'm going to slap this on the page. It's going to dry. I'm going to put my deco foil on top of it. So while that is drying, I move on to yet another thing. I'm kind of squirreling about this layout, and I am going to use the Chroma mists to go ahead and paint in my flowers. So I am using the yellow bumblebee color, and I'm just placing this in the center of the florals, and then I will bring in the other colors as well so that I can go ahead and just get my flowers created. Now I am doing the yellow first because it is easier to add the red color that I plan on doing these florals over top of the yellow than it would be to get that yellow over top of the red. So I have these centers, and now I'm going to go ahead and just basically paint in these florals. Now, I'm not a watercolor artist by any means. I am just going to paint in the florals to the best of my ability. I'm not worrying about light, shadow, all that kind of stuff. I'm just not focusing on that. Basically, I am just coloring in solid, beautiful colors. So once I get that done, I also color in the leaves, and then I fussy cut. Now you guys might have noticed that I fussy cut and did not have the finalized stem off of these. I went ahead and removed that. What that is going to allow me to do is kind of treat these more just like flowers that are just placed on a page and they aren't growing up from any direction. So that is why I wanted to get rid of that. So I am going to grab some pattern paper and some tulle from my stash. I am a big fan of layering with tulle, especially underneath of photos. It just gives a little extra touch to whatever you have going on your layout. I am using some craft foam to go ahead and give a little lift off of this photo mat for my photo. And then my photo is going to go down right there on top of that. And then I will be able to add that to my background. So my copper Chroma glaze is dry now. Look at that gorgeous color that comes up. I go ahead and push down that deco foil piece so that it is strongly adhered to that background. I'm going to trim down the tulle a little bit. I got a little excited with the tulle, guys, and it got a little excessive. So I went ahead and took that down a little bit. Now I am figuring out how I want my florals to go around my photo. I definitely want the focus to be on the photo. There is a lot going on this layout to catch your eye, a lot of different metallics, a lot of different colors, and I just want your eye to be focused in on this photo. So I am going to take these florals and overlap my photo ever so slightly. I'm not really covering up anything important. There's a little bit of a background there, but that's really it. And then I'm going to add in these fussy cut deco foiled pieces to just add a little bit of extra bling to my flowers. And you guys, I have to tell you, I absolutely love this combination. The copper with the red and the green leaves, I think it's just beautiful. So I am going to use some foam squares to pop up the ends of my foiled leaves here. That's just going to give it a little bit of lift and dimension on this page. You already have so much texture and implied texture with the different metallics and the different papers and the tulle and everything. So I'm just making sure to capitalize on that and really pop up some of the leaves and things from these florals. Now, if you had real flowers, they wouldn't be completely flat on your page. So, you know, of course, I want my fake painted flowers to be a little bit exciting on the page as well. Now for this one, I decided that I was going to tuck it underneath of my photo. So I was going to show a little bit less of the floral. And I think that that helps with bringing your attention to the photo on the page. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the ferns and the leaves on the painted bits up here. I'm just going to use some foam squares to pop them up, just to give, again, that texture and that lift and that dimension. There is already so much gorgeousness going on with the foils that I just want to like capitalize on that, guys. Like, make it work for you. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to pop little pieces up. And then it turned out that I picked a great amount of these little foiled leaves to fussy cut. So I'm just going to figure out where I want them to go, get their finalized location, and go ahead and adhere them down to the layout as well. Now, I do have to say these toner sheets were super easy to use. You just throw your sheets on top of your papers with the black toner facing up, and then you just whoop right through your laminating machine. So now I have that down. This is where I'm trying to decide how I want to do the title. I was thinking that the stamps might be a little thin and get lost in all this beautiful deco foil. So I go ahead and hit up my stash for some letter stickers, and I do a combination of silver and black letter stickers. That way I can really just keep going with this multi-metallic theme. Because I have the copper, I have the pewter, I have the silver, and then I'm even going to add in the gold. You can kind of see it up at the top of my layout. I have my absolute favorite sequins ever. These are super gold sparkly sequins from Brutus Monroe, and I have to tell you guys, I love them. They're my favorite. So I do get those on the page as well. So tell me, do you enjoy mixing metallics? Are you kind of like a one metal type of scrapper? You know, sometimes I'm a one metal and sometimes I like to mix it up. And I think with this layout, it just really, all of the different metallics, even that copper chroma glaze there on the background just adds a completely fun other layer onto this layout. Now I am going to get these letters adhered down, and then I'm going to add on my gold sequins, and then that is going to do it for this layout, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for joining me as I played with Brutus Monroe and Thermoweb products, and I will see you guys again real soon for another video.